Welcome to the show. Stacey Stash, the first queen in the house. I don't want to say Bgirl. I don't. It's very difficult. I don't want to say it. I'm just so used to it. What's up? How you doing?
How's everything? Yeah, all good. What's happening?
All good here. It's still early here, so I was trying to wake up with listening to some K-break mixtapes, to get me in the mood.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it worked out. It worked out pretty fine. I feel like pumped. Yeah. Okay, so I'm very happy to have you here on the show. I haven't seen you in I don't know how many years.
No.
Up to yesterday, and of course the story of you coming to the show is like, we needed somebody to represent the females. Like, come on, you can't have just the next chapter is not only about the men, yeah, it's about the women as well. So I couldn't think of a better person than you, because to me, like, I don't know, you represent the perfect model for like the big girl who kind of developed to be a woman, like doing work and doing stuff, and always venturing new stuff and like going places, and
Yeah.
like I look at you even. From a long time ago, I was like, damn, this girl's everywhere. Every day posting some stuff, and I'm like, shit, like, yeah, Stacey, she's living. So I think for me, like, you're a really good guest for the show, and I appreciate that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you.
A goblet.
Hey, well, I'm having coffee, so but we can like some other time. So can you represent yourself and your crews, or do you want me to do it? Up to you.
I'm easy. I mean, like, I represent Heartbreakers crew and Mighty Zulu Queens. And And Form Lane in Australia.
Former Lane, Australia?
Mm-hmm. So there's
all right, dope.
Of us in the crew. We've been together for a pretty long time.
All right, dope. So can you start with just like the story of how you got into breaking, and when was it? Just
when I got into breaking, I was probably about, I don't know, 15, 16. And
okay.
I remember these kids coming to my school at the time, and I saw everybody on stage, and I was like, yeah, wow, I want to do that.
I want to do that.
Just went from there.
So what?
I joined the summer school in Auckland. It was like a performing arts school, like over summertime, and breaking workshops like every week. And I ended up only just going to those workshops. I didn't go to anything else. And just
so the school was just like it's not like a school. It's like a summer thing, or
yeah, it was just an extracurricular program.
Okay.
Like you had a choice.
All right. Okay, dope. And that's when you were 15, so maybe like 15 years, I don't know.
Yeah.
20, I don't know.
Yeah, about 15, 16, yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, 15 years in breaking. Yeah, that's a bit more than me. So that's like dope. And can I ask, like, what do you think about the breaking right now? Like, obviously it's not like when it started. Like when we started, it wasn't like as big as it right now, and like we actually have stars. I don't think we're there yet, like in terms of star power, but I think definitely we came a long way. So what do you think on the current breaking situation? Like,
look, to be honest, like, I don't really think about it too much at all. There are just so many other things to think about. I don't like, I might have a conversation here and there with friends in passing, but nothing where it's like a really long conversation of how the scene is today. Maybe in Australia more so than worldwide, but
yeah,
nothing where.
Australia, like, I haven't seen many. I know there's like I know a couple of really good b-boys. Like there's a guy called Dave. I don't know, forgot his name, but Dave, I'm supposed to talk to him like next in the next couple of weeks. He's very strong, like super strong b-boy, but there isn't many as a, like a scene. I don't remember a lot of like breakers coming out of Australia, and Australia is a country.
I feel like Australia, I mean, I don't think it was as anywhere as close to what it was at least 10 years ago in terms of b-boys, b-girls, or crews. And maybe it's because I'm not in the scene as much as I used to be.
The scene. Yeah.
But I haven't heard or seen kind of any jams that are up and coming or that were similar or to
when we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same energy right here in Qatar. Like maybe you remember when you were here, there wasn't a lot, but there was some jams happening from time to time where you can actually go to send DJ stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty much dead. Like even the Red Bull one is gone. They're not even doing any with the qualifier, so it's like really dead. And I blame Hakeem for that. I blame Hakeem because he was like, yeah, since he left, like everything went like scratch. All the events are gone.
I mean, he was
like organizing.
He was the catalyst to everything in breaking. Like I remember before I moved there, I went online to find B-boys and B-girls in Qatar before I moved. Yeah. And I was on, I don't know, I just managed to find Hakeem online somewhere. And hit him up and then we became friends that went on. But there wasn't anything. I think I was really naive before I moved there as well, assuming that women could dance and,
Yeah. I guess, I mean, we're going to talk about it because I was just going to ask you, like, when, like, obviously you started from a young age with a lot of energy and you went on, joined a couple of really good crews, like the Zulus, Heartbreakers. And so when was breaking stopped being a priority to you? Like, is it when you came to Doha, like, or what happened?
Yeah, it wasn't a conscious decision of it not being a priority. I thought that when I would move to Qatar, I would have probably been breaking a lot more. But it was a total opposite. It was, I lost a lot of motivation and discipline because I didn't have, access to, like easy access to like to go to train or hang out with other women. Like I didn't know any other girl that was breaking there. And not being allowed to dance. And when I found out I wasn't allowed to dance as a female,
like, okay.
I was just like, okay. My God.
Okay.
And to train and be on your own, or be with b-boys all of the time, like that's just the way it was.
Yeah,
like
it's not
growing up and breaking, but it still wasn't the same. It was never the same for me not being able to dance with, girlfriends or women that I, looked up to or wanted to be around. Just, there was only so much motivation I had to train on my own. And so I kind of just lost, just a lack of interest. Because even if going to, wasn't allowed to dance,
Yeah, like it must be hard, like to be like ready for a jam and you're like, you hear like sick beats and you see like just other b-boys who've traveled from other places, and it's like that time. Because for me, breaking was always about like the ciphers and the battles, and that's it. And really, I enjoyed more the company of the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
So like I enjoyed. This is my best. Like when it came down to breaking, it was the battle that gave me like, and the ciphers that gave me that like hunger, kind of.
Yeah.
But getting to that point, it was just the social aspect of it. started like, okay, we're gonna have a good time practicing, chilling with the boys, and dancing, laughing, and all that. And then, okay, maybe a couple of times in a month we battle or we do a cipher. That does just give me that fuel for the next month.
Yeah.
And yeah, like if I did all that practice and stuff, and then I was told, okay, well, you can't dance here because such and such, then that just gonna like, okay, are you like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So definitely, but like, yeah, it got a little better, I guess, after a few years from when you left, because we did throw another jam, and like some bigger also did dance, and it was like okay. But yeah, it happened, and we're trying to get there. It wasn't like even for us. I remember us. I was talking to B-Boy Pandiv from India last week, and I was telling him like, oh, when we first started, like even us, we were not allowed to dance. Like even we had to go to the police a couple of times because they caught us breaking in public area. It was like a messed up. But luckily we were underage, so they didn't do anything to us because they're like, okay, well, we're just practicing.
I mean,
we had to tell them we were doing gymnastics. So they'd be like,
yeah. And it was on like we were on stage somewhere, and when I went there, I was told I think it was Hakeem, and he said, "Oh, just tuck your plaits, like my hair, into my jumper, and put it on."
Yeah.
So I got caught, and I was tapped on the shoulder and asked to leave. So I just went to the side of the stage and hung out with Tyrone. Like, no, you have to get off the stage. Like, no woman allowed on the stage.
Oh my God! Like, this is just too much.
Oh, well, this is like fucking fun, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, I want to be there, and I have to sit on the sideline and just
like watch these whack B-boys dancing.
Like fantastic.
All right. Let's switch it up a little bit. So obviously this wasn't your proudest moment in breaking. So maybe you can tell us about your proudest moment breaking, inside or outside of breaking.
Proudest moment, inside or outside of breaking?
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be with dance or whatever.
Well, I know the proudest moment, like outside of breaking, and that would be that. And it probably doesn't sound as big as it is.
It's all up to you,
It's actually completing high school with a really good grade to like get into uni and get a scholarship. Because when I was younger, I got shifted from home to home, and I went to like 15 different schools, and I was like super and just kind of downward spiral. So I never thought something like that would be. It wouldn't have been. I never thought that would have been achievable, considering like I was in and out of homes, and I was living
not
like
stable stuff like this.
Different cities. I went to like 5 high schools, like 10 other schools before that. So, and then I just got into a really bad state, and didn't think. I never saw that as something I could have achieved. It wasn't even on the radar,
I think this is a huge achievement because me myself, I also didn't see myself achieving in high school, and I didn't achieve in high school. I just graduated like really just grad. And if it was any lower, I would have like had to fail and do it all over again. And so I think finishing high school is, even for like stable, and if you have like a regular place and stuff like this, it's not easy. So if you did it, going through all that, so definitely it's a big achievement. So I don't know, you should be happy about it.
Yes, I didn't think that. And I kind of look back on it now, and it's just like far out, like that happened, like that's sick.
Dope.
What system and like getting through, but yeah, never. I remember getting the letter and in the mail of my grade.
Okay.
And then, after just working so hard for it, I was just like, oh, fuck it. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like I said, that's dope. I don't know what that feels like. Unfortunately, I was never like a good student, so maybe one day I'll take a program just to ace it or something.
Yeah.
I was horrible at school. Okay. I want to hear if you have any exciting projects or future plans, stuff like this coming up from you. Like, what's going on in your life right now? Do you have anything?
Yeah, so my best mate and I have a coffee shop in Melbourne in a suburb called West Bqueen. So we open that in October. At the moment, well, clearly we've got COVID and new restrictions here in Victoria. You know, but the plan is like to just eventually open full time. We just got our liquor license, so opening at night.
Nice.
Creating new menus, and just getting that set up and ready for
2021.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, so you opened last October, like last year.
Yeah.
And you only worked for like a few months until COVID hits, and you had to. Oh, okay. So
open close.
And you've recently reopened, but only for takeaway stuff, right?
On weekends.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following you on Migrant Coffee, right? Migrant Coffee. That's where people can. I'll put the link somewhere after that. But yeah, I've been following you, and I really enjoy the poop poop, the peep peep. Yeah. I just like wait for it. It's so funny. But yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, I think at some point you gotta own your stuff. Like this is the best decision you can make as a person who is making the transition from like working for someone to working for yourself. Like like this is like really dope. Okay, as we come to the end of the show, just would like to remind people that like this show is not about like power moves or dancing entirely. We talk about it from time to time, but it's really about the people, and it's about the development of the B girl or the B boy to like a B queen or a B man or whatever it is. So it's just all about the people and stuff. So if you can like support us with whatever, and you just like or share whatever. But we get back to Stacey, and I want to know if you have any advice for the younger generation of girls who are going like, okay, we saw this show and we want to do that. So what are you gonna tell them?
I mean, like, I don't. I think if anything, it's just, and it sounds really cliche and extremely boring, but just do what like fuels the fire and makes you really happy. And it's not about like procrastinating or thinking about wanting to do things. It's about
just doing it.
You've seen that you like what you see, you want to do it. Like, don't make excuses and just get it done. And be happy.
Exactly.
Because if you're not, like, the passion and the fire is just not going to be there otherwise,
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been dope having you here. I want to ask you more stuff, but if we can go back to maybe because you're not in this, because I want to go back to the Australia thing, like with the breaking right now, and like, but you told me you're not like really into the scene, so if like I'm interested in knowing, because what I always do this comparison, right? Like, oh, when we started it was like this and that, and now it's like this and that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. You do that as well? Like now, obviously now, like they're streaming everything.
Yeah.
You have like whole competition. You have whole festivals just streamed online. You can be there but not be there. And when we started, it was like, okay, you can barely get a videotape, or you can barely go to you, not even YouTube, like kind of stuff. So do you have like, I don't know, any insight on that for you, like, or
Um, I think like for me, I don't watch a lot of footage. I don't watch a lot of things on the internet anymore. Like it's just not the same inspiring for me. It's like the essence of what it is when you're there.
Yeah.
Like when you're actually in that moment with the people, with the music, it's not the same. It's not the same at all, like watching anything online.
It's not the same. Also, I think online is oversaturated with footage. Like, there's just so much stuff. Like, if you watch few clips on YouTube, then your YouTube is gonna be full of like random and like it's not the same. Before, if we watch one video, it's like, oh, now I have to learn every single move that was on the video.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, forget it. And you can see amazing things. You can see Bboys doing crazy stuff, and it's just like, okay, yeah. Next.
Level of breaking. I think the level of breaking worldwide, and how immediate, the very like young generation. I'm talking like 5-year-olds to
Yeah.
It's out of control. I'm like, that is not held. Like that cannot happen. Like, how is this possible?
Actually, I don't really like seeing like children dance like you said 5 and 6, because I don't think it's normal.
Yeah.
Because like breaking needs practice, it's not like a thing you can just pick up like whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't think there's children who have what do you call it? I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like they have the consistency of practice they need to achieve that move. I think like if there's a parent who's telling them, oh, you have to do it, I think that's wrong. Like, you shouldn't. Like, this is 5-year-old, 4-year-old. Like, you cannot do that to it. So this is what I think about. When I see it, it's like, it's crazy. But I'm like thinking, like, like, why do you have to? But anyway, so this is what I think about that. But yeah, it was great having you here. Maybe we can do a podcast at some other time, or like we can, like dig into stuff deeper and ask you about advice on how to start my own shop, stuff like this. Like,
sure.
That would be, maybe open a migrant coffee here in Doha, like open a bread, stuff like this.
You're in Qatar still now, right? Like, you haven't moved to.
What?
You haven't moved anywhere.
Yeah. No, I'm still there. Yeah. So we can make it happen at some point. They love that foreign stuff here, anything that's outside, they love it.
They're all over it. Yeah.
Anyway, great having you here, Stacey Stash, Heartbreakers crew, Zulu Queens, and the last crew from Australia. I don't remember that. All right, have a great night or a great afternoon. I don't know what time it is.
30 p.m. now, so going nighttime. Yeah, nighttime.
Enjoy. What, nighttime? Well, it's still early in the morning here, so coffee for me.
And the next chapter, and
thank you.
Everything, that's dope.
Thank you. Well, I like it, and it puts me in contact with the people I enjoy talking to. So it's really like just fun for me to do it, and I love it. I love it so far. I've talked. You're the first person, so it's really it's like a special episode that we have it with you.
Yeah.
But all the guys, they've been so good and so great, and it's just like different perspective, and it's really dope. So yeah, I plan on doing it and continue on doing it.
Yeah. Fit pay.
Yalla. See you, Stacey. Enjoy.
I will.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. I need a bigger glass of coffee to stay.